Hello guys. We're team 7447X, and it's kind of like our logo funnel explanation. I don't know. We've had like a few teams. We have a decent amount of teams that have asked us how to do them, so we thought we'd just like make a little explanation. So we had to not tell everyone. I don't know. Easier to like do that. I don't know. All right. So basically, how it works is we use two polycarbonate pieces on the side, mounted at the top. We just use like a screw and then a standoff. And then basically what it does is it just pulls the piston in together. So like how we mount the piston to the actual poly is we take a standoff that's cut in half, as you can see, and then we basically round out the bottom into a circle, like shave it down so it can fit inside of the SMC piston. You actually have to do this with the SMC piston, or else the piston, like the shaft, standoff won't fit, or I have to shave off too much material because the new pistons are like too small. So what we have to actually do is, and it's kind of hard to see, but we take a shaved 0.25 inch spacer. Here. We take a shaved 2.5 inch spacer and put a set screw from a shaft collar inside of it, and that just makes sure we can fit the actual shaft collar inside of the piston and mount the standoff firmly to it. Because if we didn't do this, we would have to use a zip tie, and that like basically cause a bunch of friction. We kind of do that same premise on the other side, but instead, to actually mount the piston within like this vertical range, like this like linear range, so we could still have the double wide intake, we had to actually cut the piston. We cut around 5 to 6 threads off of it, maybe 7, and then we drilled and tapped a spacer so we could put the SMC piston inside of the spacer to pull it back, and then we put another standoff shaft collar or nylon shaft collar on the bottom to basically like secure it on there. We just used the zip tie, like drill through a zip tie, drill through the standoff both sides. Make sure to use like a small bit, I guess, to drill through the standoff, since it's already half cut. Since the standoff's already half cut and it's like shaved at the bottom, it's like really prone to bending. So I guess another way you could do this is with like half cut high shrink shaft, but this just worked best for us because it's lighter weight. And I guess the last little thing is the tensioning, or like the banding. We kind of did differently on both sides because we fixed it at the comp. But what we used to have is like the zip tie and this high strength bar at the bottom that pulled a double wrapped like 160, not 164, like 117 band or whatever around inside of that, instead of mounting on here because it'll bend, and just pulls the piston back instead of pulling this back, because if you pull it from here it'll bend. And over here instead, this is like probably a better way to actually tension it, but we mount the actual rubber band on like this standoff shaft collar part, on the nylon shaft collar part, and then we mount it through I know it's kind of hard to see, but we mount it through like a zip tie in there, pulling it down. This goes like almost in the channel of the wheel, and then you can adjust the tension just like pulling this or less, pulling it less. That's basically it. As we went, and then you basically like tune the tension. Make sure you like pull it enough. I guess like this part right here, like tuning this gap, just get it, basically line it up as perfect as possible, so you can have this straight with that, and then this side straight with that. Maybe a little bit wider, because we noticed that if you have it perfectly, it tends to jam a lot more easily, or has a bunch of force when it's pushing the block like through. Because when we were tuning it, what would usually happen is the block would just go all the way through like that, especially because we have this floating intake stage. I will say it's really hard to get almost 7 blocks like consistently, since we have this floating intake stage, which is probably why we're going to switch to the 1010G intake where we can actually pistonize it up and it'll be more smooth. Okay, let me pick some blocks up. So at the bottom, and you just close it with all the blocks in it. You don't want to get too close, obviously, or else it'll shoot them out, especially if you have this intake. And then you just score like that. As you can see, I mean, they go all the way through, but if you do back up a little bit more, we have been able to get almost 6 every single time consistently, and around like 30% of the time, out of like 10 tests in a row, it'll actually be able to get all 7 in the entire logo. So it's just like really consistent. If you, I don't know, have any questions, comment below, or I don't know, ask on Robolytics. I posted this in Robot Ratings, so if you have any questions, just go to the bottom, go to the thread below. We'll help you, I guess, tune it. I guess one little thing, I will say this piston, just take 2 pliers. You do have to bend this piston upwards a little bit if you run like a conventional drive like this kind of 450, because if you pull it down, the piston was actually scraping this, and if you didn't have this bar on here, like if we theoretically if you didn't have this bar on your bot, then the piston fitting would occasionally scrape the park barrier. So it's just something to keep in mind. Like if you don't have this bar, you're gonna have to rotate it around. You're gonna have to rotate like this top fitting 30 degrees. See how like it's like kind of offset with that. But that's kind of it. Hope you have a good day. Like, subscribe, maybe comment if you have questions. Anyways, yeah, 74X. See ya.